Right, welcome. It's been a long time since I've done a video, so let's see how this goes. So in order to start 2022, the round of classes, my regular ladies have very kindly signed up to just do what I've called a variety pack. So they have 8 projects. We're going to complete them over 4 classes, so roughly 2 projects per class, although one project I think might take us the whole class, so we might squeeze 3 into one. But anyway, this is the first card we're going to make. So if you can't make the class, or you just have seen this video and want to make this yourself, I'm going to run through how we do it. So it's featuring this technique that's popular with quilters and crafters, and it's called the Disappearing 9 patch, I believe. So to carry on, the ladies that are doing the class have received a pack. So just to run through what they've got in their pack. So they've each got an envelope. They've each got an A6, and it's a 10-fold card blank. So the written instructions that you can download from the blog will tell you how to make this from an A4 sheet. You can make 2 of them. So that's a 10-fold card blank. We're not going to use it as a 10-fold, we're going to use it landscape. Okay. Then they also have 3, possibly 4, can't remember, let's have a look. 1, 2, they have 3 pieces. So this is just A6. This is easy for me to mail out or deliver to my ladies. I just cut it into quarters, so it's an A4 in quarters. So they've got 3 pieces of basic white. Then they've got have another piece, but I've already punched with, I believe it's called the tailored tag. It's on my desk somewhere, but I can't find it. It's this shape. Anyway, I think it's the tailored tag bunch. There is a list of all the products that I've used, again, on the blog. So I've included that. They also have the 2 pieces that I've punched out. They should have another one of the same shape, and this is soft seafoam. They have a length, I think I've used 30 centimetres. Let me have a quick look. Yep, 30 centimetres of the twine. Now this has come from the Playful Pets combo pack. And we have 2 resin dots. These have come from a pack. Let me grab them because I can't remember. Here we go. They are called Playing with Patterns resin dots. So we've got Coastal Cabana. I believe this is Purple Posy, and I'm not sure what the yellow is. It'll be in the catalogue. I have a feeling it might be Mango Melody, or it could be Daffodil Delight. Not honestly sure. Then we have the DSP. Now in the kits that I've given the ladies, I've given them these pieces of DSP. The DSP has come from a brand new celebration offering. So you get this for free, the whole pack, if you spend £45 in January or February, and we're in 2022. So Happy New Year, by the way. It's called Sunshine and Rainbows. It does coordinate with a rainbow stamp set that we've and dies that we've got going. I literally pulled out a quarter, I believe, of the pack, and you can see it's got beautiful patterns and lovely colours. But I wanted to do a masculine type card, so I purposely picked out these patterns, and all I've done is given my ladies a 3" by 1" strip. Okay, now if they wanted to, just to be different, they could flip them over and use these patterns if they wished. If they wanted to do a birthday card with maybe a more feminine colour scheme. You've got rainbows. These look like little candy corns if you're in America, but just little white, and I think it's Mango Melody. Then you've got a stripe, and then you've got oh, my brain's really failing me with colours. You've got a pink. Anyway, so I'm going to use these bluey greenies because I think they're lovely. Okay, so let's crack on and we'll make. So the first thing I'm going to do is, with this piece of card that I've already taken these notches out, I'm just going to ask that we get a paper trimmer. I'll grab this. I'm hoping it's in shot. And I'm just going to cut this down to 3 inches. So it's 7.6 in centimetres, but it's easier for this part if we do use inches. So 3 inches, and I'm going to rotate that and cut again at 3 inches. Okay, so that's our 3x3 panel. Now while I've got the trimmer here, I'm going to get another piece. So this is going to be cut at 3 1/4 inches. So 3 1/4 and rotate to 3 1/4. Okay, and that will be the backing panel for this piece momentarily. Again, while I've got the trimmer here, I'm going to take a third piece of this Whisper White. Sorry, no, it's called Basic White now. And I'm going to cut this. This is going to be for the insert. So I'm going to cut this at 13.8 centimetres. We're back on centimetres. So 13.8, so you're literally cutting a centimetre off there. Rotate that, and I'm going to cut it at 9 1/2. So we've cut a centimetre off the other direction. So this is going to be the insert that goes inside the card. Okay, so those are the 3 white pieces cut. I'm going to lay those to one side. Then I'm going to turn my attention to the DSP. So what you need is 4 patterns. So you can do this with any DSP. You need 4 patterns and you need a total of 9 squares. So what I suggest is you take 2 of each and then 1 more of your favourite pattern. So I'm just going to use, I'm going to go beyond the cut line, that's on this side, just because it's a bit easier. I've got more to grab onto here. Just going to trim these strips down to 1 inch squares. Okay, this one's a bit trickier. 1 inch, there we go. So that's 3 of those. So if we trim all of them, then you'll have a few spare anyway at the end, which you could use to embellish the insert if you so wished. Or you could grab yourself some more patterns and just keep going and make more. So I'm just trimming away and I'm cutting these down to the 1 inch squares that we need. If you're a quilter, I might have already said this, if you're a quilter you might recognise the technique. Apparently they do it in fabric. So right, here we go, last one. So there we go, I've got all 9 squares now. So I'm just going to open that so they drop off onto my, and get rid of my trimmer. Right then, it's just gone quiet. That's for some reason I've got a strange fan on my computer at the moment that keeps going off, but I still got the heater going because I'm in the cabin. Right then, so we've got 9 squares. We come now and we're going to get our 3x3, this was the 3x3 inch square of basic white card, and you're just going to lay your 1 inch squares and you're going to butt them up so they're nice and neat, and within that square, that one I think I need to do the other way. For some reason it might not be perfectly square. Ooh, that one's not either. Oh, I didn't do very well here, did I? Right then, so as we're going along, I'm going to grab my Tombow and I'm going to glue these down. So try and keep as straight as you can with that square. I don't know if my head's in shot, I hope not. There we go, that's the first one. So follow along. You want basically a 3x3 grid is what you want, but you want as neat as possible. So your edges are buttered right up to each other. Okay, so I'm going along. I think I've gone a bit off the wonk there, but I might be able to tidy it up with the next row. So I'm going to use the 4th pattern there, and then I'm going to start and repeat some of the patterns. So I'm going to put another one of this Bermuda stripe, and you don't have to put your stripes the same way. Yeah, that's neaten that off because it's overlapped. For some reason I had a bit of an overhang there, I'm not sure why. I'm going to go with another spotty one and place that just there. There we go. And then my final row, I'm going to come back to this dark blue. Pop. So what you're trying to do is have 3 rows of 3, and you're trying to get so that you haven't got the same pattern in the same row. That makes sense? I'm not sure. So I've got that one there. I've gone a little bit off there for some reason, so I'm going to check the measurement of that. I want a third one. I'm going to go back to this dark one. I do like this one. So that would probably show as my favourite. So I've had 2 of each, and then my favourite. I don't know what's wrong here. I must have cut something slightly awry somewhere. So at that, I am just going to double check. In fact, I'm going to use, I've got a tiny little guillotine here, which gives me nice neat edges. So I'm just going to check that this is 3 inches. It is now. And I'll go this way as well. Trim that. We'll just double check and go around 3. There we go. That's better. Oh, I've got a bit of a, you know what? I'll just trim it ever so slightly. That way. Right then. So, you've got your grid. I've got a bit of glue. I'll get that off in a second. I'm just going to leave that to set to one side a minute, just while I do my stamping. So I've used the sentiment from a stamp set called Handsomely Suited, and it's just happy birthday to you. Fits really nicely within that tailored tag shape. I hope I've got the name of that right. So I'm going to grab a block and pop that on, and then I'm just going to use, we could use any of the colours in the ink that show up in the papers really. I'm going to stick to Night of Navy like the sample. So I've got my Night of Navy and I've got my tailored tag. So I'm just lining it up so the points are on this bold line and this grid paper, and hopefully it will help me get it more central. That'll do. Got a bit of a splodge on the white. It'll do. It'll do. I did say I've not made a video in quite some time. So again, while that's drying, I'm going to get the soft sea foam. The reason I put 2 of these in the kits for my ladies is just in case they made a boo-boo. On this stamping, they've always got another one to use. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the stand. A bit wobbly. Right then. So on the soft sea foam, I'm going to cut this just with my snips. I'm going to cut it horizontally. So the easiest way is to rotate it so it's in sort of portrait format and just go straight up the middle. So you've got 2 halves now. On the back of your sentiment, flip that over, I'm just going to line glue up there and down there. And then I'm going to place these so they overlap. So if I'm going to leave a gap in the middle. Oops. And I'm using the Tombow glue because I've got a bit of wiggle time now, so I can turn this over and I can move these pieces until I'm happy that we've got a nice equal border above the sentiment and also a nice equal border below. Maybe I wasn't quite quick enough because it appears to have grabbed quite well. Okay. If for some reason you have got anything protruding at either side, just grab your snips and neaten that off. Just like that. That's all it takes. Okay, so again, leave that to one side just to dry off and your glue to set. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this, and I happen to have a little adhesive remover. It's not a Stampin' Up product. I think it's an EK Success adhesive remover, but it's very handy. Anyway, right, back to this. So again, I'm going to get my trimmer. So if you remember, it's 3 inches square, or in my case, it's a smidge less, but 3 inches is as good as we're going to go. So we want this in half vertically and in half horizontally. So 1.5 inches. And if you've got the Stampin' Up trimmer, you can see that the very end measurement is 1.5. So you want to be within those 2 lines and cut that in half that way. Then rotate. Okay, now if you think you're going to struggle to cut both at the same time, just take one out and do one and then do the second one. But I've got both and I'm going to cut it that way. So I've now got 4 squares. Whoops a daisy, put my trimmer out of the way again. I've got 4 squares that if we put them back together, it's given us exactly the same pattern. We've got the 3 squares going along. However, in order to achieve this disappearing 9 patch, what I'm going to do is pop these squares, I think they were that way, yeah, they were that way, and I'm just going to rotate each one. So I'm going to pick one up and turn it and pop it back down. Pick up the bottom one, turn it and pop it back down, and so on and so forth on all 4. So I've just rotated each of them one sort of turn, as it were. Now have a look. If you're happy, glue it down at that. I'm just trying to look and see if I'm happy. You know what? No, I want to turn this one again, and I'm going to turn it so that's up there, and I'm going to rotate this one, I think, and see if I like that any better. Yeah, I think I do. I think I quite like that. You know, I don't know. I'm a bit fussy. I'm a bit fussy, so you just have to play with it until you're happy. Oh no, I like that way. I like that way. Does that look too similar to that? I don't know. Should we try? Oh, there we go. That's the winner. I like that one. Right, so once you've got those 4 squares in a formation that you like, push them up to each other. Check that margin. All right, so this white margin, you've got an 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So once you've got that you're happy and it's fairly square, you're just going to eyeball it to make it square. Just take 1 square at a time, pop on the glue and pop it back down. Okay, so 1 square at a time, and make sure you butt everything right up. Now, a little tip that I found is when you've cut them, sometimes the edges of your DSP feel as though they've curled up the way. So I'll show you what I do. Once I've stuck all of these back down, just like so. Last one. There we go. Tuck that in there. Everything's buttered up nicely. Okay, but I can just feel some raised edges. So I'm just going to get my bone folder and just smooth along all the edges. Just like that. And it just, I don't know, for me that's better. When I feel it now, there aren't any bits raised up. There's a little bit there. There we go. That feels much smoother. I like smooth. There we go. Okay, so that's your panel. Now what we're going to do is get this length of twine. So as I say, I used about 30 centimetres. And I'm just going to wrap this. Now I followed one of the lines. So on each of your panels, you'll see you've got this, this one part, sort of a half a square, so it's like 1/2 inch, isn't it? I'm just going to knot this. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to knot once and knot twice and pull that. And then depending on which way your tails are lying, so you can see on my sample I've got one going up and one going down, and I quite like that. But now I've got 2 coming down the way, which I also like. So now I've got a separate pair of snips that I've got a piece of ribbon attached to. This is to remind me to only use these for ribbon and twine. So all I'm going to do is snip the ends, but then with the point of my snips, I'm just going to dig in and separate, and it's just a fray, like the last 1/4 of an inch. I just think it looks prettier. So there we go. So I've got that and it's frayed. I've got 2 edges on there. That's lovely. I'm happy with that. So I do say so an awful lot, but anyway, right. Card blank. Here's your basic card blank. I've got my panel. Now I want to adhere this using Dimensionals. So I'll grab some Dimensionals. So the Dimensionals are the 3D foam pads. We've got them in 2 sizes. We've got the big ones and we've got the baby ones. So I'm going to use big ones because it's quite a large piece. So I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to pop a Dimensional. Now by putting it right next to the twine means the twine's not going to slide off, which is good. And the ones at the top, so it's not going to slide this way either. And I'm also, just for support, going to pop one in the centre. Now when I attach this to the front of my card, what I'm looking for is equal margins. You have to excuse the state of my nails. This is because I've been doing this cabin that I'm sat in, and I haven't had my nails redone yet. I will do, hopefully. So there we go. You're looking for an equal margin on the left side, top and bottom. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing. I'm happy, I think, with that. There we go. Pop that down. So I've got 2 Dimensionals there, 1 in the middle and 2 up here. Got my little knot. Happy with that. Then I've got this sentiment, a happy birthday to you. Now this, I am going to overlap onto this panel. I'm going to use this centre line as my guide. Okay, and I'm going to come just to that the edge of the 1st inch there. So Dimensionals again, but I'm just going to put 2 in the centre. So again, got 1 just here and 1 just there, and I'm going to take the backs off those. Ooh, sticking to me. And take the back off that one. And again, as I said, use that as your guide. Slide it in. Use that till you've got a nice straight edge. And then, magically, this margin here is pretty much the same as this margin here. Always nice to be just so. I'm very much just so. Then I'm going to grab, I would take my pick tool, but I can't find the pointy bit. So I'm going to use my very old piercing tool and just lift these resin dots, and I'm going to pop 1 at either side, so it just looks like I don't know, maybe buttons or rivets, I suppose, that you would have just there and just there. So that's the front of the card, all done. Now what I should have done when I was stamping is stamp the insert. Here's the insert. Okay, so we've either got, tell you what I used, and that is, there's a stamp set. It is retired now, but I think a lot of my ladies have got it. There's a cluster here. It's called Family Party. It's got 3 stars. Here we go. That's how it's well loved, this stamp set. Got 3 little stars. I'll grab a small block, just like so. Pop that on there. And again, I'm going to grab the Night of Navy ink pad again. And I'm just going to make a border. So I'm Stampin' Up and I'm just rotating. And I could go along and just make a border of stars along the bottom. And while I've got it out, I'm going to grab my envelope and I'm going to nudge that out of the way while I do this. I'm going to stamp the bottom corner of my envelope, and then I'm flipping it over just to do the edge corner of the flap like that. So that'll need a good clean. I'll pop it out of the way for now. Close this up so I don't get myself absolutely caked in it. So we have an envelope. We have a card. This is my sample. This is the one I've just made. So finally, just going to grab some glue and glue that insert in place. There we go. Just like so. Now this video is intended for the ladies that are doing my classes, those that can't join us on the Zooms live when we do it. This will be on the blog, this video, hopefully. But anybody can view it because it's also going to be on my YouTube channel. So check out Stampin Suse. So we've got stampinsuse.blogspot.com, which you probably already found. I've also got a YouTube channel. There will be links to it from the blog. If you'd like to join my classes, you're in the UK, if you'd like to join my classes, by all means, drop me a quick email or a message, and we'll get you sorted. If you'd like a catalogue, likewise, just drop me a message. And if not, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, it's Suze again. Just to ask, if you've enjoyed watching this video, would you please give me a thumbs up? It's just below. That way I can try and grow my YouTube channel and make even more videos for you to enjoy. Thanks so much. Cheers.